Things I've learned before my 20s. I'm currently turning 20 in quite a few days, and a lot of people say that wisdom comes with age, but I always argue, or I always tell people that that's not completely true. I truly believe that wisdom comes from your personal experiences and what you go through in life. And I'm turning 20 soon, so I would like to tell some people, or I would like to just name off what I've learned going into my 20s. A lot of the time, we feel so, I guess you could say, we always want people to cheer us on. We always want people to love us. We always want people to be there for us. I think a lot of something I've learned throughout being a teenager and going through my own trials and tribulations and experiences is that some of the most important information that I could give anyone and that I've learned myself is you're not going to always have people there for you. You know, people have their own lives, and you can't be selfish, or you can't always expect someone to be there for you. And a lot of the times we always want someone to be there for us. And don't get me wrong, it is important sometimes, but we have to understand as human beings and just as people that you're not always going to have someone to help you. You're not always going to have someone to tell your problems to. And sometimes being alone and just taking care of your own things is truly the best you could do and the best option. There's been times where I've went through things and I've told no one at all, and I just worked on myself, and sometimes those were truly the best times because you're not seeking validation or you're not seeking attention. And sometimes we do need to talk to people, sometimes we truly need to vent or whatever it may be, and I'm not against that at all. But I think as people, we don't understand that we don't need all people there for us 24/7, And I think something that I've said so many times that I will preach till the day I die is care for yourself when others don't, and love yourself when no one does. Because I feel as if, and this is just my opinion, when someone loves you, it's easy to just, how do I put this? When someone cares for you, it's easy to care for you. When someone loves you, it's easy to love you. When someone cheers you on, it's easy to believe that you could do something. But when none of those things, when no one does that for you, then you don't feel motivated to do it. When no one loves you, it's hard to love yourself. When no one cares for you, it's hard to care for yourself. And I feel as if a lot of that is also due to one of the lessons I've learned throughout life is you don't always need a partner. You don't always need to be dating. You don't always need to be with someone. And my generation, or this coming generation, I feel as if has we've made that so normal that, life's all about a partner. And don't get me wrong, life is about finding someone you want to be with and having kids and being married. But I think in nowadays ages, that's the only thing that life is. If you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you're not miserable. You're not missing out on anything. And your life's not going to end. And that's just something we've normalized as society, that, if you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're missing out. Or if you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're lonely, or you're sad, or whatever it may be, you're depressed. And I completely disagree with that. I've been with people before, and sometimes it's just peaceful to be by yourself. Sometimes you could be happy alone. You could be happy or at peace alone. And so much of the time, another thing is people think being alone is miserable, depressing, or sad. That's completely opposite. Your perspective of everything is how you see the world. If you think being alone is depressing or sad, you're going to be depressed or sad when you're alone. If you think being alone is loneliness, that's your perception of it, and that's how you're going to feel when you're alone. Me personally, I used to be someone who didn't really care for being alone. I like being around people. Of course, my family and my friends. And growing up, I've learned to be alone. I've learned that being alone is one of the greatest things ever. Being alone is at peace. Peace from the drama, peace from the world, peace from all the bullshit that goes on. Being alone is one of my favorite things that I could do, because no one can disturb my peace. And I've learned that being alone is not loneliness. Being alone can just be so peaceful. It can give you time to reflect on yourself, do more for yourself. And I think that as people, that's what we've lost. We've lost self-reflecting because we're always distracted by something. We've lost caring for ourselves because we're always too busy caring for other people. We live for other people so much. Not we, other people. I don't live for anyone. I live for myself, because at the end of the day, that's the only person that's going to make me be at peace. But so much people live for other things. Live for Instagram. Live for TikTok. Live for whatever it may be. And I tell everyone this all the time. If it wasn't for YouTube, if it wasn't for TikTok, if it wasn't for Instagram and me promoting all my content, I would probably be off grid, honestly. Because there's so much bad, but there's so much good with these platforms. But the truth is, I don't want people to know what I'm doing 24/7. The truth is, I would rather live a private life than a public one. And it just goes to show how much people are living for Instagram or the clicks, the views, or anything. Yeah, all that's important, because as society and as a YouTube platform and as platforms have made it, those are all important to get money through whatever you're doing. And that's how we feel validated, you know. Being 20, almost, it puts some kind of, how do you say, pressure on you. And I was thinking this the other day, I was thinking this yesterday, that man, once I turn 20, I'm going to feel a little bit of pressure from society. But the truth is, I don't have to. The truth is, that's my perspective, and I allow the outside perspective of 20. And, oh, now you have to have this, or you have to have a car, or you have to be stable, or whatever it may be. Those are just rules made from society. I don't have to have it all figured out yet. I don't have to have all of that yet. I can have my own perspective. I can have my own way of thinking. Now, clearly, don't do nothing. Be disciplined. Work towards your goal. You know, work towards your aspirations. Something I learned pretty young as well is some people just care too much about other people's opinions. And I've learned this at a very young age, that other people's opinions don't dictate your life. And other people's opinions are not going to really shape your life. They're not going to help you in any way. most of the time, depending on how the opinion is formed, whether that be negative or positive, most of the time it's harmful to always care about other people and the way they think of you or perceive you. And don't get me wrong, I've been there. I'm not perfect. No one is. There's been times where I've cared about my friends' opinions or people's opinions. And there's always working on it and consistently moving and consistently doing better. We're always moving. We're never going to be perfect, So I'm constantly working on everything for myself and constantly working on myself. But through the years, I've really made progress with not caring what people think and living for myself and not living for no one else. Because at the end of the day, life is too short to live for anyone besides yourself. I'm turning 20 soon. And if I could give myself anything, if I could tell anyone out there anything that's valuable with them turning 20, anybody in my situation or my whatever you want to call it, don't let the world dictate who you're supposed to be. Don't let the pressure of society determine you from chasing your goals or your dreams or your aspirations. Don't follow the normal algorithm. And don't confide to the pressure that life gives you when you hit a certain age. Because all of it is made up. They're just rules made from society. The truth is, if you're turning 20, you don't have to have everything figured out. The truth is, you don't have to have all this pressure on yourself. Because at the end of the day, your perspective of things is what makes your life. Continue to be motivated and disciplined. But when motivation wears off, be disciplined enough to be able to keep going. Keep working towards your goals or your dreams or your aspirations. Understand that nothing in this life is just given to you. Don't be entitled. Understand that not everyone is your friend and not everyone is going to cheer you on, and that's okay. Be there for yourself, love yourself, and cheer yourself on enough for you to get to the finish line. And if I could say anything else before I end this video, at the end of the day, if you truly want something in life, you will go get it. And if you don't want it, you won't get it.